let's talk about how the TikTok ban went through, and we more than likely will not be here come January, and it sucks.
Bye, bitch.
Not ban TikTok. That's not acceptable. That's not acceptable.
It's kind of oppressive, getting rid of a whole app that millions of Americans use, and I don't know, they can say it's for like safety of the country, but I mean, I haven't really seen concrete proof.
TikTok is a grave national security threat to Americans.
TikTok is just Chinese malware. It's just junk food.
Do we want TikTok run by China to have this type of power of 170 million users in the United States? We would never let them buy ABC or CBS.
The American security standards, it has to be, it can't be a national security threat.
The real answer is sell it to an American company.
The U.S. Supreme Court said today it will hear TikTok's appeal of a federal law that would ban the video sharing app in the U.S. if it's not sold by its Chinese parent company. That law is set to kick in next month.
TikTok is a gun aimed at Americans' heads.
TikTok CEO, who met with President-elect Trump this week, insists his company does not share Americans' data.
I have seen no evidence that the Chinese government has access to that data. They have never asked us. We have not provided.
Have you ever been a member of the Chinese Communist Party?
What?
Yeah.
Man, hell no. Hell no.
Senator, I'm Singaporean. No.
In TikTok's emergency appeal to the Supreme Court, it says a ban will shutter one of America's most popular speech platforms and violates the First Amendment. But the clock is ticking. If the Supreme Court upholds the ban, it will take effect one day before President-elect Trump takes office. Trump, once a TikTok critic, now...
In mid-2020, Trump signed an executive order banning it.
You're fired.
Seeming to side with TikTok, praising the app for helping them win over younger voters and win re-election.
How do you plan to stop the ban on TikTok next month?
We'll take a look at TikTok. You know, I have a warm spot in my heart for TikTok.
Make no mistake, this is a ban. A ban on TikTok and a ban on you and your voice.
Now get out! You're banned from this historical society. You and your children and your children's children. For 3 months.
Big players, they have a vested interest in getting TikTok up out of here. And the way they're going about that is, of course, to spread fear. That's one of the easiest ways to get people on your side, is to make them afraid of something. So Congress and everyone is talking about national security and how TikTok is spying on you and is tracking you and this and that. All of these companies are hypocrites because they all do the same thing, but they make it seem like, oh, because it's China, you know, they're doing something nefarious. China can use your data against you in the future. But us over here at Instagram and Google, we're not going to use that. We got it, but we're not going to ever use it against you. You can trust us.
What happens to me?
I got your back, bro. I promise you, you'll never have to go back to prison. You ain't even gonna miss what we take.
You know.
Politicians may say otherwise, but don't get confused. Many who sponsored the bill admit a TikTok ban is their ultimate goal. It's obviously a disappointing moment, but it does not need to be a defining one. It's actually ironic because the freedom of expression on TikTok reflects the same American values that make the United States a beacon of freedom.
I know many people have been in denial since the appeal from last week didn't go through, but I think people need to realize that this is the end of TikTok in the US if they choose not to.
Bye, bitch!
Also, TikTok is hoping that Trump makes due on his telltale promise on keeping the app. Y'all, we cannot be dependent on a lie.
Really sad for a lot of people who really rely on this app for their livelihoods. And I'll just be going back to work full time, which is what I was doing before all of this. So.
Grab one while it's really hot. See if you can touch that sucker.
Just stay positive. I love you guys.
So it is looking more and more likely that TikTok is going to get banned here in the States, which is so irritating and so annoying, especially for people who have made TikTok their bread and butter, like content creators or small businesses. Like, it is so It's sad. It's really, really sad. I'm hoping for the best, especially for all of us content creators. But the silver lining, I guess, is that we can just go to YouTube and post content over there. Now,
bye, bitch. So the next point is you got to talk about small businesses. So many people have come up off of TikTok, using TikTok as their small business platform. It's astonishing the amount of people who can make money on that platform. And I'm talking about people who have no talent whatsoever. I'm talking about you looking at a piece of bread on the table, talentless type stuff going on. Man. But hey, that's their niche. They found their niche, and you know, they're making money from it. So no shade on them, no hate. A lot of people will be affected if this ban is taking place. And you know, in the economy right now, a lot of people are already looking for jobs. So if you take this away from them, it's definitely going to put a big dent in the economy. A lot of people was making a lot of money off of TikTok. Seeing that come to an end, man, it's going to be a whole different world out here. It's going to get really crazy really quickly.
Right down. Get down. Don't move. Spread them out. Don't move. Anybody in the house? Is anybody in the house?
This means that it will become illegal on the App Store. So the circulation and distribution by Apple, Google Play, Android stores, that's not legal anymore. Basically, those stores have to take it down and make it so that we can't download the app. In addition to that, internet browsers now have to ban the website of TikTok. And a lot of people are like, oh, but what about a workaround? What about a VPN? Best you don't do that. If this is considered illegal, don't do that. So here's my plan of action. I'm gonna be here until the thing gets banned. TikTok has been on borrowed time for a long time now. Think about this discussion's been going on forever. You can still make money on this app until it goes away. Everybody's like, oh, do I keep posting? Keep posting. Send people to other places.
But still, this is the end of an era, right? Because TikTok has changed my life in so many different ways. If this is it, if this is the end, then I just want to say thank you. Thank you for the community we have built. Hopefully we can move this party over to the other platforms. And
Bad news, dog. You don't mind if I have some of your $300 glass shit there with you? Please.
So I've been trying to make this video for a while talking about the TikTok ban, but every single time I try to, I just start screaming and blowing out my own mic. So that's not helping anyone. But don't worry, I'm still going to be posting to TikTok. I'm going down the ship, so I'll be here till that ban goes through, until they kick me off, and I'll be fighting them, kicking and screaming.
TikTok has now made an emergency request to the United States Supreme Court asking for an injunction pending Supreme Court review. They are basically asking the Supreme Court for a giant pause button on the effect of the TikTok ban. This is exactly what they asked the DC Circuit for, the Federal Appeals Court, and the Federal Appeals Court said no. Now they're asking the Supreme Court for the giant pause button, and the Supreme Court could choose to grant it, then take up the case and consider it. This is also what I said may give us some sense of how the court is thinking about the case, because in order to grant an emergency injunction like this is the standard of review. The court considers whether the applicant is likely to prevail on the merits, whether denying relief would lead to irreparable injury, and whether the public interest supports granting relief after balancing the equities. That means TikTok has to argue, and the court at least has to think that there's a likely way for them to prevail on reversing the DC Circuit's decision upholding the ban. There are three options for what can happen next. The court can grant the emergency application for a stay, then take up the case and consider the merits, weigh in on the TikTok ban. The court could deny the emergency stay, but still take up the case and weigh in on the merits of the law. Or third, the court could deny the emergency stay and deny the request to hear the case, which would preserve the DC Circuit's decision upholding the ban. Government will get a chance to weigh in here before the Supreme Court decides on the emergency stay. So keep an eye out for what happens next.
Third and final point about TikTok is the kids. You know, how TikTok can really affect kids mentally. I've seen the change in adults, how they get trapped in their own little echo chamber, and how it's distorted reality for a lot of adults. So I can only imagine what this high power algorithm is doing to our children. You know, brain rot is real. Kids' attention span being shortened, that's really real. And these are real issues that we're going to have to deal with down the pipeline. A TikTok ban to me is not the worst thing, honestly, you know, because at the end of the day, the children are the future, and we can't have freaking morons walking around here trying to run society. It's just going to collapse even quicker than it already is collapsing.
Bear, you fucking dumb truck. Serio? Serio. Hey, you're fucking stupid, Ese. Why don't you take your medication or something else?
For children, a child shouldn't be getting on any social media platform and then getting off of it talking about, oh, I don't think I'm the gender that I was born to be.
I always say that the algorithm knew that I was gay before I did, and I stand by that. It absolutely knew.
I just don't feel like that's appropriate for an algorithm to be shaping a child's outlook of their self like that. That's too much power. And so, yeah, I'm in favor of a TikTok ban. I feel like the way is coming after our children right now is kind of scary almost. So I'm in favor of it. No, that's just me. You guys let me know what you think about this. Let me know, are you for a ban? Are you against a ban? Yeah, let me know what you think. And let's get this conversation started. Made it this far, go ahead and type PowerShell down in the chat. You know, my main job, I'm a system engineer. I've been a system engineer for like 7 years, so I'm real techie. Go ahead and type PowerShell down in the chat. Let me know you made it all the way through. And I really appreciate that. Like I said, let me know your thoughts and your comments. Hit that like and subscribe button for your boy. And there's going to be a lot more coming. Don't sit on the sideline, man. Don't be a spectator. Hit that like and subscribe button for your boy. All right, I'm going to holler at y'all next time. Peace.